Hi, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. The question that we are exploring right now is the one that professional service organizations have started asking: how to scale project delivery without sacrificing client satisfaction on margins. AblyPro has done its homework, and we are here with the answer. I am Samriddhi, and with me today is Jason, who is AI and Certinia solution consultant at AblyPro, and will also be leading today's demonstration. A very warm welcome, Jason.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good, good morning from wherever you're joining us today.
So, those who are not familiar with AblyPro is a Salesforce and Certinia consulting partner focused on helping service organizations improve operations, delivery, and customer outcomes through Salesforce, Certinia, and AI. So that was a little description of AblyPro. And now a quick housekeeping note. The webinar will run for 45 minutes. We will, in the end, take some time out for answering your questions, and we are recording the webinar. Moving on, the agenda is to discuss current PS organization issues, what's breaking down, where the crisis is, how could Certinia's Veda AI be really helpful, and then what value will AblyPro bring to your organization regarding AI opportunities? Shall we dive in, Jason?
Yes, let's go for it.
Let's do it then. Let's put ourselves into the shoes of a project manager for a while. The one thing a project manager dreads to say is the project was supposed to be fine. The word supposed. Because the client was happy, timeline realistic, project staffed, and then the lead consultant had a personal emergency and had to take some time off. And the project was immediately at risk. Not because you don't have amazing people who can deliver, but because you had to find the replacement and it would take hours of manual cross referencing. So, my question here, Jason, for you is what happens in this moment of crisis?
What happens? That's a great question. What happens is that the search begins here. The PMs is having to find the right skill sets, who's available, who's in the right location, and all without impacting another project. The answers exist somewhere within the system, but finding them requires a manual effort. Meetings, messages, emails. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking. That could really slow things down, couldn't it, Sam?
It definitely could. And do we have some magic to sprinkle in this
Yeah.
situation?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look in the system on what this new agent can do for you. Okay. But first, I want to paint the picture of the manual effort and how tedious it can be. So now let's paint the picture of me needing to replace um, someone on this UK change management project. Okay. I would have to dig through here to look for who's on the assignment. Okay. Let's say Dev is going to be leaving, right? But now I have to find who's closely related to him on this project and to fulfill his role. So we have to jump to another screen. Let's see all. These are the role requests. So now I have to go into my role requests, resource request screen, go to all. Again, things are not filtered, things are not organized here on all other projects. So you can see there's so many tabs to go through to find even remotely who's available. That's just trying to get the name of the resource. Now we got to find if they're free. That can be really tedious through Slack messages or team messages or email asking, oh, is this person available for this date and this date? And then waiting while time is being lost. But now, let's go back into our project, go into our UK change management project. I'm going to prop up my assistant here. Sorry, I'm going to go to the work reallocation one. And let's see some magic, shall we?
Definitely.
Again, we said Dev Rati was the person in question here that's going to be leaving us indefinitely. Maybe he's going on an extended vacation, I hope. So I just prompted the agent here to show me all the assigned resources to Dev. Why? Because I know he's just not on this one project, even though I see him on this one project. That's another thing we also need to look for. Perfect. You can see here he is on this project that we're looking at. He's also on this other project and a third project. Information in hand and ready to go. No more digging, no more searching, no more emails, no more messages. Now with information, we need action. So not only we can get the information that exists in the system, now we're able to take action. Let's go ahead and take a look at that, shall we?
Let's do it.
Now I have prompted the agent here that Dev is not going to be available for his projects for unknown time. Help me reallocate his work. The reason I left it so vague, I want you to kind of see the steps it will take you through. Okay. And let's see how it thinks and works. Perfect. It matches with the criteria above. I want to say yes. There we go. Wow. And look at that. Not only did it give you recommendations and a resource proposal, a match quality that's 87% in skill sets and 100% availability. This action that we're looking at, guys, is called a swap within the work reallocation agent. You can see it empowers the user to gain information and take action, saving time, effort, and more, and it will help the project keep on track. Right off the bat, we can see that it's on our UK management project that we're looking at. I'm going to say yes, let's swap them. Oops, sorry there, and done. I'm just going to go into my other screen here. Yeah, I can see how Dev Rati is there. I'm going to say no on this project for now, just because we will only use one edit, for example. I'm just going to leave that as a skip. But the main item I want you guys to take a look at is now here he is under this project. I'm going to refresh the page in my org. Let's see how this turns out. Again, this is a live demo, so hopefully everything goes perfect. But if it doesn't, please do bear with me. Perfect. Let's go back into resource file. Ah, look at that. Lily Patel got replaced. Dev's now okay to go on his unknown vacation, and everything is on track.
That is perfect, Jason. But could you just scroll the screen up a little bit so that our audience can see the records here? Oh, Lily Petal is definitely there in place of Dave. That is magical, Jason.
Perfect.
And the conversation actually did change. It changed from who can we find in a moment of crisis to which of these recommendation is the best. And that is genuinely great. But one might think that the story ends here. But we've just solved the staffing problem. But replacing the resource is only half of the story. The next question is what impact this kind of change creates on the project? What goes on with the PM next? The PM feels that something is still off after this swap, Jason. The PM feels that there's something off, but there's no explicit client escalation that has happened. No red flags, just a feeling. And the PM, to validate this feeling, has to go manually digging for 30 minutes around, running custom reports, review milestones, auditing missing time cards. So here is my question for you, Jason. For this pesky thing of finding time cards, milestones, what's missing, can we do something about it?
There is definitely something we can do about it. But again, you mentioned the manual effort. How do you know something's drifting? How do you know if effort wasn't being logged? Maybe a dependency is not being taken care of. The PMs, again, manual effort, opening report, reviewing milestones, and checking time cards, spending 30 minutes on one project out of many to search for those items. Wouldn't it be great, Sam, if those answers came to you instead?
It would definitely be great. Do we have an agent here for that?
Yes, I like to call this my personal assistant agent, but it's called the project assistant agent. And you know what the best part of this agent is, or this assistant is, Sam?
What is?
They don't need coffee.
Ooh, that's interesting. An agent that doesn't need coffee and does
Right,
work. A dream for a manager.
sure. Okay, now you see me in the system. I'm just gonna minimize this. Again, I just want to focus on that manual effort. Let's say a dependency, I have a feeling that, oh, did everybody lock their time cards? How do we do that? Right? Again, let's go ahead and dig. We're looking at the milestones. Everything's open. Oops, sorry there. Related records. And milestones. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now I want to go ahead and look at this milestone here. Go back to the project planning. Oh, great. Now I have to go to another screen and look at all the time cards for this milestone. Oh, this is really helpful. I see everybody logging the resource, Henry, Lily, and this person. Things are being saved, but nothing tells me that it's missing. Again, manual calculation to see if the dates are correct. Oh, what date or month are we in? I have to ask those questions manually myself to make sure for this one milestone, in particularly if there is a missing time card and there's no flag here. So let me bring up my assistant now. There it is. I want to ask the most important question first is on this project. I want a status update. Give me a status update on the UK change management project. Boom. There it is. Within seconds, I have a summary indicating that I have 6 milestones. 2 milestones are overdue, while the rest are on track. Total hours for the project logged. These are the two that are overdue, keynotes, and the 6 milestones. What is really nice here, guys, that here at AblyPro, we're able to customize this section to present the information that's relevant. So we can train the agent to give key, I guess, information that is definitely needed when a prompt like this is created, right? So this is something we just did for now, but if there's something custom to you, we can definitely assist with that. Okay.
One question here, Jason. For all
Yeah,
of this
please.
information to appear in this concise manner, wouldn't you need your data to be in place?
Yes, that's a great observation there, Sam. Yes, you need to have everything in order, correctly inputted in order to have these information for you to make a decision, right? So yes, that is very key.
And that was me subtly foreshadowing because there's something related to data coming at the end of the webinar.
Ooh, already foreshadowing for the audience. Perfect. Okay. So back to what we are searching for. Is there missing time cards? Let's just ask that question here. Are there missing time cards for this week? There it is, indicating that Lily, Henry, and this milestone for the UK management project are not logged. It's already at the end of the week. What's going on? I have it in front of me. Their expected hours to be logged and worked on. What's nice, and I mentioned we train the agent to understand what you're looking for. You can see we already built in this email notification process, sorry, to show that, we need to notify these users that their time cards are not in. The agent asked me, or my assistant asked me, would you want to send an email notification to these missing time cards? Of course, I'm going to say yes. And again, tying the loop together, information and decision, and then action, right? Voila. There it is, Sam. How was that?
That is actually perfect, Jason. The conversation changed from how you spent time on gathering information to how you spend time acting on it. Because when you send that email, we contacted that consultant, we escalated that dependency, and the milestone was reviewed at the same time. So that is actually perfect. And sending that email notification, AblyPro has actually closed that loop. So that's amazing. But what about the department heads? Because one project is one project, but department heads are the people who are responsible for overseeing dozens of such projects. And some are healthy, some struggling, some somewhere in between. So, in whole of this process, Jason, one day what happened was department head had a meeting on Tuesday, which was a leadership review. In that
Mhm.
leadership review, somebody asked which projects need attention this week. That simple question, and it would change the week of the department head. It would start a chaotic process. What would be that process, Jason? Can you walk me through that?
Yeah, for sure. Normally, that question would trigger a familiar process: message to your project manager, status review, reports, and follow up meetings. Hours spent in gathering information before a decision can be made. This can definitely impact the department or the PM itself having to get a status on this project. You can see on digging through the information, compiling a summary, and then shooting that out. Finding bits and pieces that things can be missed, right? How's that sound for impacting there, Sam?
Ooh, I can see how one thing and one simple question can have a ripple effect. I mean, there is a delay in reallocation, blind spot in customer delivery, and then information reaching the leadership too late. And that is a problem. So, do we have a solution in the form of a magical agent, Jason?
Yes, we do. Now we have something called the project summary button. I like it to call it like a button. Let me just go on the project first. Again, we'll use our example here. This agent can summarize every project, open risks, resource requests, missing time cards, project health, and delivery concern. And the best part, Sam, do you want to know how easy it is?
I do want to know how easy it is. You called it a button agent. Now, is that a way of speaking, a figure of speech, or it is a button and it's that easy?
That's a great question, Sam. So it's like a prompt. Normally, you would prompt the agent, but here is a prompt that's built in to generate the information for you. And at AblyPro, We can also do that generative summary, or that magical button, I like to call it, to generate a prompt to execute and provide you information right at your fingertips. So no more going going to the agent. You can have it on your process screen, click the button, and it'll get you the prompt and information you need right away. Shall we look at that magical button?
Ooh, really excited, Jason.
Okay. And boom. As this is generating here, again, the governance and data, everything is protected within your Certinia org. And information that's gathering is already there and compiled for you to review and analyze. Perfect. Look at this. Within seconds, I have an overview of my project, the financials, the risks, the staffing, and deliverables. These are information that exists in your system that would have had required manual effort for someone to dig in and compile this, right? Not
Definitely.
only not only it was able to provide a summary, but recommended action items down below. So Sam, did I deliver on that one click magic button?
It did. You did deliver on it, but I want to understand, we have this summary in front of us. What happens if the department head wants to send this as a client-facing summary? Can we do
All right.
that?
Yes, you can see that there are recommended action items down below. I'm going to go ahead and click the client facing. And again, prompts saving you time back from drafting a client facing summary. Perfect. As you can see, highlighting the information that is needed to be provided when you're sending out to your clients and key elements. Of course, we can make more tweaks and edits to propose and put the relevant information in if needed. So Sam, how do you feel about this client-facing summary email here?
As a department head, this actually solves a problem for me. I mean, I edit it, I send it away, and the deal is done. But what happens if I want to showcase every bit and pieces of this project to my, say, leadership board?
Perfect. We do have an executive summary too on this particular project if they were asking. There it is, being generated, and voila. An executive summary ready to go, edited, and be sent out.
That's perfect. But pardon me, I have another question. In
Yeah.
all of this process, I didn't find risks, issues, assumptions in one place. Do we have that kind of view?
Yes, we do. We have the generated RAD next steps here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let's see. So here, Sam, this tool can help change the question, no longer what is happening. To your question, there's risk, action, and assumptions and dependency. But you know what's also pretty neat here, that even though where you might have questions on why are these highlighted blue? And let's answer that question here. So here, again, as I mentioned, there were risks being raised in the system and documented as such. You can see when I go into this risk, I can definitely see the information on what's happening, more detailed. Oh, I understand now. This is why this is being a delay. Who was who mentioned this? It was Henry on this milestone, on this project's task, and this issue. And there's also a plan. You can see there's so much information to be prompted as long as your information is here and the information that is provided can help you keep the project on track, create action items, issues, and further recommended items here, Sam. Plenty of information, decisions, and action to take upon, don't you think?
That's actually one click too much magic, Jason. That's perfect. You were actually right. The question definitely changed from what's happening to what should we do about it. And resources are redirected. Support is provided, which is extremely necessary, and risks are discussed, which is also very important. And this keeps the project ball moving. Which brings me towards a summary of all of these three agents. The reallocation agent kept the project staffed. Project assistant kept the project healthy, while project summary keeps leadership informed. So, together, these agents help organizations spend less time searching for answers and more time influencing outcomes. And isn't that what we really need, Jason? Outcomes,
Yes. Outcomes are very key.
they are the key, definitely. Now, I want to highlight something that behind all of this magical AI assistance that we just saw, we have to understand that this was all possible because we had the right data in place. We had process maturity. That is, everyone had filled their required amount of things in the project. For example, Henry was able to put that there is a risk and there is a mitigation plan. There were system integrations into place. There was governance into place. Otherwise, the AI agent would just return back false. Or worse, it might hallucinate some answers that are not true, which would be a bigger risk in professional service organizations. So once we understand that, there's something I wish foreshadowing towards. Jason, are you excited to hear about that?
Yeah, please let me know more about this foreshadowing.
Oh, the thing that I am excited about is the discovery process. This is AblyPro's own process for implementing and deploying AI. And why this is very exciting is because it's 7 steps, but all of these steps make sure that what magic you just saw in front of you right now is possible in your own organization. And we all know that PS organizations are the most chaotic one. You have everyone working towards a same goal, but you have data everywhere, processes everywhere, and system integrations are sometimes questionable. So you need a process that would make everything possible towards having an AI agent that might help you. That's where discovery comes in. The first 3 steps, as shown on your screen, are the ones where AblyPro starts by understanding your processes, your workflows, challenges, and goals. So, like most partners in the business, we don't start with building the agent. We start by understanding what needs to be built. Then, the next step in the discovery process is where we identify the highest value AI opportunity for you, because that's really important. And then assess your readiness for that opportunity. Do you have data, processes, integrations, and governance in place? And create a deployment plan, which is the final key into actually having an AI agent helping you. The deployment blueprint that outlines exactly what to build, why it matters, and what it will cost and the outcomes you should expect from it. So, Jason, what do you think? In these 7 steps, which one is the step that actually you think is the most important, without which
Ooh,
no deployment of AI?
okay. I would say the readiness assessment is very critical in this component. Why? Is because you need to see if you're even having the correct structure, information to even deploy an agent as the first, or take actions, or do a generative tool prompt, right? To have those in place, I think a ready assessment is very critical here.
Very well said, Jason. With an AI readiness assessment in hand and with a clear roadmap, you get deployment with confidence. You reduce risk and you focus your investment where it will create measurable business outcomes. So, this brings me towards the end of the webinar. I hope that Jason and we were able to give you some perspective on how PS organizations can scale delivery without sacrificing that client satisfaction. So thank you everybody for joining us. And if you are evaluating AI fit for your organization, I would highly recommend and advise you to go ahead and book a discovery call with us, because in discovery, we'll be able to discover where that AI agent sits best in your organization. Thank you so much, everyone. Jason, any final words?
No, please take care. Looking forward to hearing your AI goals and needs.
Perfect words. So, just parting words from me. If you think AI is what you need in PS organizations, AblyPro is the partner. Thank you so much, everybody. We had so much fun and we appreciate your time and participation.